Welcome to this episode of Quarterly Learnings. Justin, there is some shit going down with GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, Bed Bath & Beyond, and even Blockbuster. You name it, out in the streets of the marketplace.
Yeah, millennials are going crazy right now.
Oh, this seems more like a Gen Z thing that's driving this than the millennials.
Yeah, I'm too busy spending my money investing in freaking kitchen appliances and looking at the immersion blenders coming out and trying to get a freaking air fryer rather than investing in
I believe that's called
GameStop stuff.
Yeah, so you're being a normal adult, and meanwhile others our age are out buying up GameStop, including several of our friends. Yeah. Buying up GameStop and AMC stock like there's no tomorrow.
Which seems really stupid, but continue.
Hey, they don't know what a stop loss is. That is confirmed with one of them. They don't know what it is. So this is only going to end well, I'm sure.
Get out now and you're fine.
Okay, and for anyone that doesn't understand what the fuck we're talking about, GameStop's has been the hot name in the street lately because, surprisingly, the brick and mortar used video game store that's been around forever has decided to just catch a bid in the marketplace. The stock was at like 15, I don't know, earlier this month, and now let me see, what did it close at today? Oh yeah, 347.
That's a monumental shift for especially a business that seems to be failing right now. So what happened?
Dude, so best I can tell is the popular Reddit thread, which I've known about for a while, but never really followed by any means, because why would you if you're trying to be a disciplined investor? But the Reddit thread of Wall Street Bets, somebody out there just decided to go to war with a short seller. And usually the hedge fund backed short sellers tend to win in these situations. But instead, the army of Reddit traders, and now joined by the rest of the world, it seems like, that has access to a Robinhood account, has decided just to ride this thing all the way up and blow the short sellers out of the water. Melvin Capital had to go get emergency funding from names like Steve Cohen and get, I think, nearly $3 billion just to cover their losses.
Yeah, from what I heard, like basically Melvin Capital just announced publicly that they were short selling this stuff. Like they typical practice, nothing crazy. And this Reddit feed just decided to say, fuck you. And play a little game.
I mean, to them it is a game, and not to Melvin, but it is to the Reddit traders, at least, because they're out there and that's what they've been doing. They're just riding all these cheap stocks up and up and up, and just taking the money home with it. And that's what's normal to them, is short trading and swing trading all these momentum stocks. And why isn't GameStop any different?
So I guess the real question here, is this real? Is it sustainable? Is it something you want to keep pursuing when it happens? No. Yeah. Oh, so you're saying you're a real investor and not just, playing a little game like these people are.
Well, I like to think of it, but let's be real.
Yeah.
But no, it just created this massive short squeeze, which the layman's terms is there were so many short sellers against GameStop stock. Try saying that 5 times fast. GameStop stock, but against GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, rightfully so, there was a bunch of short sellers against these companies because their business models are in a lot of trouble. And what just happened is, because so many new Reddit traders and other people who followed on bought so much stock, it raised the price that all these short sellers had to cover and buy shares, which then raises it even more, which then puts it even further out of reach. And that's what creates a short squeeze, also known as a bubble.
Yeah, I think it's up like 750%, which is,
it's just insane. And so we don't necessarily want to talk more about that. We want to talk about what does this mean in terms of Is this even legal that you can coordinate an army on social media to go and run a stock and purposely try to bankrupt hedge funds? I mean, we've got names like Elon Musk, Chamath involved. It's just a wild, wild place. And also, fun fact: the doctor from The Big Short is is a GameStop shareholder because I believe he's either on their board or something, and he's seen like his investment just shoot through the roof yet again.
Man, yeah, I don't know what to think about this, man. So yeah, this is not things that I like to personally chase. It's just
I'm staying as far away as possible because I mean we know how this is going to end, right? It's going to crash and somebody's going to be left holding the bag. Do you think it's going to
somebody.
be the hedge funds that are holding the bag?
No, they know
Yeah,
when to time this stuff. Yeah, they know the game. They know how to pull out when it's necessary. They're the ones driving this stuff too. I mean,
yeah.
the
It's like
the Robin Hood holders like us, like we're not the ones that have any kind of influence or force. Like we're gonna be late to the game.
that's the other thing is that all of these novice traders, anecdotally judging by who we know that's chasing these, they are novice traders. That is a actually nice way of putting it, um, in terms of their skill level and experience level, and they think they're the ones driving this massive move up because this has been going on for a few days now, and these moves up and up and up and up are there's just no way that each individual has enough firepower monetarily to actually keep driving it. That there's hedge funds and other in the Goldman Sachs trading floor that people with actual financial means are driving these through the roof, and they're the ones taking the profits.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a fun little tidbit to talk about. And, it drives all these memes and stuff too. But yeah, someone at the end of the day is gonna get screwed.
Yeah, and who's
And
it more
I don't
likely
want to
to
be one.
be? Who's it more likely to be? A Goldman Sachs trader or a 20-year-old sophomore at Auburn University that's using his stimulus money?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or money beyond that, as we saw, back at the beginning of the pandemic, when that kid just didn't know what he was doing and saw a loss of what a couple $100,000 in his account.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, okay, so we know this is going to end poorly. We're predicting that unfortunately it's probably going to end poorly and probably already has for a lot of people. This thing has gone up and down 50% intraday.
Yeah.
How do we stop this how do we stop people from our age from getting hurt like that? Granted, part of me is also thinking, you know what, you should have known what you were signing up for. It's not a game, and yes, your investment can go to zero. But also part of me knows that just none of these basically kids are going know what they're doing, and they're being taken advantage of by people who do with a lot more resources than that they have.
Right. I think that the biggest thing, and something that I've been trying to do the last couple of years is get financially literate and kind of understand what these things mean when you actually put your money into places, and how to protect yourself, and you maybe not chase these awesome crazy lucrative things because you're not going to take that risk, or you can, or you can chase this stuff a little bit if you have it as a mitigated risk and you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. It's things like that, I think, is how you prevent it in the overall scheme of things. Or listening to podcasts like us, or we're not making suggestions, we're just giving basic knowledge and talking about stuff and getting financially literate a little bit.
Yeah, this is
um,
just prudent risk management of maybe don't chase what almost nearly broke used video game company that operates out of brick and mortar locations. Everyone just sees the stock and we're just seeing the true power of fear of missing out take
oh yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Everyone we know that's chased it, there's a reason they're chasing it. They're late. And when you're late, you are more likely to get caught with your pants down around your ankles when the SEC suspends trading or GameStop issues or GameStop. We're just going to call it GameStop from here on out.
Might as
GameStop
well be.
issues equity offering because it's gone up so much and they want to take advantage of it from the company side. And suddenly all your shares are diluted and the stock adjusts accordingly downward. You can lose thousands like this, but yeah, man, it's just so weird, and it's such a confluence of 2020 and 2021, the rise of the retail investor, when you literally have Elon Musk and Chamath Palihapitiya cheering on the retail crowd because they hate short sellers. They're trying to blow out people who have bet against them earlier on in life. And it's just a weird confluence of people. And you just know that it's not a true black and white battle of individual investor versus hedge fund manager. That's not the case. There's a lot of dark money, floating around underneath this stock that's moving it, and will move it whether you're buying or selling it yourself.
I think you hit it right on the head. This is not really driven by this Wall Street bets. These people that follow this account.
They started it
catching fire from that.
Yeah.
But the real money, the shady stuff that we're talking about, or maybe not so shady, is these real hedge funds, these people that have a lot of money, that have a lot of influence, are the ones driving it, that can't actually control this stuff to some degree. And they're the ones that, like you said, kind of end up on top at the end of the day. Some of the stuff people can take advantage and really drive up their portfolio. That's great, but at some point, you can get lucky 2 or 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, whatever. At some point, the ball's going to drop. Something's going to give.
Yeah, and if you
that's
don't,
when you can ruin your life.
If you don't believe us, go look at the long-term charts of both Beyond Meat and Tilray. Those are 2 classic examples of short squeezes that all happen. Tilray ran from a couple bucks to over 200 and then crashed right back down once the short squeeze was over. I mean, once these guys cover their shorts, they're out. Then they're either playing with house money at that point because they've bought up enough and made enough to gains back on buying the actual stock to cover their shorts. And then once the shorts are gone, you're left with GameStop worth $22 billion in market cap today, and it's not worth that. And eventually it'll correct itself. But I feel like I keep repeating myself. I'm not meaning to do that. Do we think the SEC is going to get involved? And no, I do not mean the Southeastern Conference.
Well, SEC has already gotten involved with all these young investors. All the frat boys. No, I don't know if they're going to involve. Is there precedent for that? I mean, for them to actually
They can, if they think that it's being purposely manipulated, then they can get involved. They still may suspend trading. TD Ameritrade was the first to actually go and start restricting trades against GameStop today. I imagine the other brokerages will follow if they haven't already. And people are already that work on the street are already saying, "What took you so long? You're too late. You're several days too late. If your true goal is to protect your investors that have their brokerage accounts with you." And we'll just have to see. I don't know. I think it then opens it up to more of the wider debate, which we saw Scott Wapner and Chamath get into today on CNBC. But if you haven't seen that, highly recommend that interview, going and checking it out. But it opens up the wider debate of, okay, these guys are organizing on social media their trades, or not even organizing trade, just discussing the stocks they like. How is that different from in the back room of a restaurant on Wall Street?
I see no difference.
Yeah. So I think that we have a more ideological question to answer, and I don't know if it can be answered, is the thing as well. It's just, I think we'll see this will die off in the next couple of weeks. If you remember what was 2 weeks ago, all the craze, Bitcoin, and magically Bitcoin now makes 0 news because Bitcoin was being run to the moon. And now the attention has been shifted to this. I have a feeling something else will capture our attention, and these squeezes will not receive nearly the media attention they do going forward in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, it'll cycle in. There'll be a new meme page, I'm sure. Yeah, once you've hit that status, maybe that is the SEC's new threshold to get involved.
the SEC is now proposing new regulations that that meme stocks are no longer allowed to be.
That's what they're calling it right now. I mean, that's what it is.
They are. Hey, they are, man. I've made a few myself, so but it's just a wild scene, and it's entertaining to watch from the sideline. I just really, really hope that nobody gets, screwed to the point where they can't cover from it.
Do you feel that you have FOMO on this? That you didn't put some serious cash in here?
No.
Same.
No, I
Same.
don't. Because
I'm like, man, that would have been cool if I would have got in. I'm like, I'd be not sleeping at night less than I already am. So.
Yeah, I know how it ends. You can hear all the stats of somebody who had 2 options contracts of GameStop at the beginning of the month now is a millionaire, and it's just like, yeah, but who the fuck was buying those anyway?
Yeah.
So it's just, hey, hats off to you if you made money on this, and I'm never going to be crying when a hedge fund takes any losses because they bet against the power of a retail investor. So we'll have to see, and I think just don't ever try to fade meme stocks.
Not at all. Yeah. Leave you with this. Yeah. Do your research, know what you're investing in, have a plan to get in, get out.
And don't short meme stocks.
And long-term invest for the most part. I mean, you can play around with stuff like this a little bit, but that's not investing. That's gambling at that point. And someone's going to lose in gambling. House always wins. And the house in this is the big time hedge funds.
Yeah, the house is the people with more money than you that can outlast you.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that wraps it up. We've arrived at the conclusion of this is fucking insane, and don't short Reddit traders. Alrighty,
Don't fuck with Gen Z or millennials.
Yep. Hey, they don't know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing. Alrighty. Subscribe, like, rate, review. You get it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.